good genes. Make it drip dive in the water, yes, baby, turn it to a submarine. Visualize you inside, close your eyes, you can manifest my summer spring. Devoting yourself to being better, knowing better, those are good genes. It's down to the DNA, staying solid like I was a Marine. If the heat's on, I can handle the pressure. If the mic's on, I can give you a lecture. If your ear's on, I'ma give you a blessing. Strategize opportunities, progression. Repetition until it turn into perfection. Repetition until it turn into perfection. Repetition until it turn into perfection. Better tell 'em. The world don't stop just cause you're grieving. Better tell 'em. Funeral last week, rent due this evening. Better tell 'em. Red pill, blue pill, pick a side. Better tell 'em. Shit get real, better guard your life.
Better tell them. Welcome back to Good Genes Podcast with your co-hosts Necia and
Hailey. Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
We back and we better than ever.
Hey, y'all like that new intro?
Mm-hmm.
Tease.
We're digging it. It's going to be available to stream real soon.
Period. And shout out our girl for the intro.
She go by Gina Joe, my sister for life. Look for more music to come from her, too. But had to get it cracking with the Good Genes intro because what's a good podcast without a good intro?
Yes. So now y'all could get a little lit,
Mm-hmm. Now you got a mantra to sing because you better tell them.
Yes.
The world don't stop just because you're grieving.
Period. Definitely don't. It definitely does not. Cousin, what's been going on?
Oh, girl. A lot. Not too much, but
In therapy, they said, "What would you like to start?"
and that's why I'd be like, "Girl, how much time do you have?" But I've been pretty good. I can't complain too much. I've been still feeling like head over water.
Okay.
But other than that, I ain't got too much going on. I'm trying to delve as much time into our podcast as I can.
Hey.
So I've been excited to do that. Looking forward to the other upcoming holidays and just being prepared for that.
Yes,
How about you? How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. This is I would say, a bittersweet time of the year. I used to love the holidays, and I've been thinking so much of my mom because she, for the last few years, she used to always tell us she dreaded the holiday season, and I understand why now. Because the holidays, it's just different. Trying to plan holiday events and family gatherings, and then just trying to process them not being here. So it's just, listen, grief is a journey. Have grace with yourself. So I understand why this is a difficult time. Even if you haven't lost somebody, even if you're like, I understand, like, if people are not in the financial space they want to be into, how this season can just be very daunting and depressing, and if you're not where you want to be in life right now. So, it's just a bittersweet. But I would say I've been making the most of it.
Yeah.
But before you say anything, I just want to let you know, show the camera your braids. Yes, give it up for the hair.
I am, this is a good time to tell you all. But Sway Mac on the braids,
Period.
My girl keeps my hair nice and healthy. But for like the past probably 10 years, I have kept a shortcut on and off. I'll grow up for some reason, like I had a bunch of people get married, and I'm not a lace front girly. I believe in just letting it grow out my scalp. So I grew my hair out for some of the weddings, and then cut it back short. But one thing I knew that I wanted to do after losing my sister, cousin, your sister, is that I wanted to grow my hair out and donate it in honor of her to cancer survivors, not just breast cancer survivors. But it has been a great journey to, like, grow the most healthiest, long, beautiful, luscious hair that I can.
Yeah.
So it feels good to be able to, like, have wash days because, baby, this already too much hair.
Yes.
I love a shortcut. It's low
super
maintenance.
Cute. I love it. It's super cute.
Thank you.
Super cute.
But I have had better feelings about growing my hair out. It doesn't feel daunting, like, oh my God, I'm having all this hair to deal with because that's been my whole life. It feels like a productive, good challenge to see, like, how healthy, how long of hair could I give. And our good sis loved a good long weave,
She did.
good long
But
wig.
you know, it's so crazy because her hair is down her back, like way past her bra strap, thick, like as if you would have thought she was mixed with something. Her hair was so long and thick. So I just know she would be so happy and so pleased just to know that you like even growing it out to
Yes.
donate it to somebody.
And this is also a reminder that you don't have to be mixed with nothing but black to
Yes.
have good, long, healthy hair.
Yes, good genes.
All you got to do is take care of it because we born with the good genes.
Yes.
So when you care for your hair, you can grow it just like you can grow a crop.
Yes.
So I'm excited to be growing it out. It is getting longer. I know it's still short, but baby, I had a little pinch of hair. It could lay down flat on my head.
Well, it looks cute. So.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You did mention something that we're going to talk about today. One of my favorite things that is money.
Yes.
And around the holidays, it could be difficult or you can have mom guilt associated with not being able to give your kids maybe everything you want to give them and things like that. So I just want to know, like, how do you plan the holidays? And I know this can kind of be something for you now because you have responsibility of two young men that you would like to give the world to. So you may have some money guilt that creeps up on you in the holidays. But how do you plan best, like financially, or like what are your money plans overall in a year?
Yes, so that's a great question. I will say I used to go all out on holidays. You can ask my nieces and nephews. Like I, even on their birthdays, I would try to send them $100, something. But I have so many. I have literally, I think, 16, 17 nieces and nephews and 8 great nieces and nephews. And I will always try to give them something, you know. But now I'm mature enough to know, like, you know what, making memories and giving them gifts that they can take along the way that they won't forget by MLK Day, right? Like if I give, I got them a lot of stuff, but they probably didn't even remember where I got them by the time January came, the middle of January. So now I'm big on like trying to plan a family vacation for Christmas because I know we were sitting around on Thanksgiving talking about, you know, what we're going to do for Christmas and what was our best holiday together. And everybody agreed it was last year. We were all together. We had a family game night. My sister was there. It was just so fun.
It was like perfect.
It was perfect. So I want to not recreate that, but I want to start a new family tradition to where we don't exchange gifts, but the presents, each other presents is the present. I was asking my sister two youngest sons, I was like, what y'all want for Christmas? And they was just like a PS5 subscription or PS5 Plus or something like that. But my 10-year-old nephew, shout out to him because he is very frugal. He want to know how much something costs. He be like, well, how much is that? So he's very mindful of not asking for much. He rather go to a football game or a basketball game like we recently
have
took
an
them.
experience.
Yeah, he rather do an experience. So, but during the year, the last, I'll say 2 years, I have really locked down because I have a bunch of huge financial goals that I'm trying to check off. So how I keep that is basically making sure I have a budget. I try to live well below my means. I do invest a lot of my income. And I just keep in mind, Necia, when January 1 come, you do not want to feel like you're already behind the 8 ball at the start of the year because you done blew a check on tangible gifts that they probably not even going to remember that you got them.
Right.
So, yeah.
So you spoke about budgeting. And what does budgeting look like for you? Is it paycheck to paycheck? Is it month to month, quarter to quarter? What does budgeting look like for you?
So honestly, I explain. It's a little bit of all of that because the way I set my budget up is I have it budgeted for paycheck to paycheck. Like I assign my dollar to certain tasks because I don't want my money running me. So I assign it. And I have a book that helped me. It is by Tiffany, the Budgetnista. That's her name on Instagram and social media and stuff. But this is a really, 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 really good book. And some of the principles and steps that she outlines in the book is really simple, and what I like about it is attainable. So for like one, I sit down, look at my income. I know what's coming in. A lot of people, they don't even know how much money they make coming in. Like if you ask them, they don't really know. So I try to know, like, okay, what is my net compared to my gross? Net is what you bring home. Gross is what your check is before taxes, insurance, and all of that gets taken out. Net is what you actually bring home. So I look at that. Then I also look at all of my expenses. So I keep that in one bank account. So, and that's another trick is I have multiple bank accounts and they all have different reasons. So I have a leisure account, and I actually not just different accounts, but different banks. I don't put all of my money in the same bank. So I bank with Chase. I bank with 3 credit unions. I have SoFi, which is an online bank, and it's really good for a high yield savings account. And so I have like my leisure account, my expenses account, account that I use just for like Zelle and Cash App, Apple Pay, those type of things, like when I'm out, you know. I have my account that I do like my own tithing. So like I not only tithe to my church, but I also like help people.
Yeah.
So that's my definition too of tithing. So like once that account get low, I'm out. I'm like, I ain't got it. Somebody already used it up. Yeah, and then I have my investing account, but I always pay myself first. I always do that. So that's what my budget looks like. And then I make sure my expenses are there. My expenses, I try to keep everything I possibly can on auto pay.
Praise
so
the
I
Lord.
so I don't forget to pay it. And I think it was one of the signs I remember wishing when I was younger, if I could just get out of this payday cycle and just get my finances to where I could put it on auto pay. Like I literally cried when I was able to put like certain things on auto pay. So I have that account, and I make sure I have enough in that account to where it doesn't overdraft.
Yes.
But I also don't keep a lot of money in the banks. I like to invest my money, that way I get more on my return. But I was telling Hailey, I think that's a good topic. Investing is a good topic for another episode. Once we talk about like the foundation of finances.
Yes.
But how do you budget?
So I typically budget month to month, paycheck to paycheck. Not that I live that way, but there was another, I can't remember. It wasn't a budgetista, but she talked about looking at each paycheck and, like you said, assigning the money. So I just look at each paycheck. I know how much is coming in. I look at that pay period and look at all the bills I need to pay in that pay period. Then I say, okay, I also have multiple accounts, so I'm going to move money to my expense account, or whatever you want to consider it, my bill account. Most of my bills are on auto pay as well.
Praise God.
Thank you. The only ones that I manually do are like my credit cards, because I want to pay more than the minimum. And typically when you do auto pay with the credit cards, it's only the minimum.
Only set it at a minimum.
Yeah. And if, I want to throw a little extra on it, I want to be able to schedule it. I just transfer the money from one bank account to the other so that it's there, done, don't have to worry about it. One of the biggest things that helped me, and I started doing this in college because I was on my own. I had to figure out stuff, and I refused to be behind on bills. So I have a whiteboard calendar that I fill out each month. And what I love, I put a scripture on it as whatever reminder I need for that month.
Love that.
But each month I'm going to outline the bills and their due date, birthdays, vacations, everything's on there. But I always put the bills on there, and I put it somewhere that I'm going to see every day. So right now it's in my office at home, which is like near my front door. Every time I walk in the house, I'm going to see it. So it's a constant reminder to me that I have an obligation, or someone's birthday's coming up, or whatever I need to plan for. So that was a big game changer for me, of just staying on top of it. So now, even when I just think of certain days of the month, I'm like, something due.
Yeah.
And then it helps me plan out paychecks. But I kind of look at it paycheck to paycheck, what's due in this time. And then it lets me know any extra money that I have left over. That's my leisure money, my plan money, my invest money. So I look at that money and say, is there any bill that falls kind of in between the pay period that I need to put up, Because I work in a finance industry, And honestly, most of the times in the finance industry, you're paid twice a month
Right.
versus every 2 weeks. So depending on when that day falls,
It's kind of like the military.
yeah,
Our military is paid once.
I think they're paid twice a month.
Okay, I think so. The first and the 15th.
15th.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Got to remember that.
Thank you. So that's really how I budget. And what I love about the budget, Nisa, I haven't read her book, but I have seen and indulged in a lot of her online content, is her budget is a yes. She doesn't look at her budget as a no of what I can't do.
Yeah.
She says, yes, I can pay this on time. Yes, I have extra money to afford to get my nails done. Yes, I can do this. Yes, I can save. And I love that mentality because a lot of time you'll look at a budget and thinks that it just tells you what you can't do.
Right. Yeah, I be telling people sometimes it's not all about cutting out Starbucks, and like that's not going to put a huge dent into progress as to you getting ahead financially. And sometimes it's not even a budget issue. You just don't make enough. So sometimes it's an income issue. Like the average person they don't have much to budget.
Yeah.
Compared to the expenses they have, and especially with rent and mortgages and car notes and car insurance being as high as it is, and now our healthcare insurance is going up. It's not sometimes a budgeting issue. Most times for a lot of people, it's an income issue.
So then what do you suggest? Like someone who's working full time and it's just not enough.
Yeah. So I suggest looking at things that you're naturally good at. Every one of us have a God-given talent. Look at that and see how you can monetize it. I often ask myself, okay, what is a problem that I see people struggling with? And then I try to look at my talents or my natural interests and say, how can I solve this problem for these people? Because honestly, if you can solve a problem for somebody, or you can entertain them, or you can provide like some type of service, you can generate income. So I was telling Hailey, I read this book. We're gonna put these books in the description as well, but these books can be found on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. But this is the Ultimate Side Hustle book, and it has literally 450. I won't even call them side hustles because a lot of these can be like careers too, but they really get your like juices flowing as to what you can do. Like one of the things in here is renting out an RV. A lot of people be like, oh my gosh, you can rent out an RV, and sometimes you don't even have to own it either. Just like you rent a car on Turo, you can sublease it, and just like people rent cars to drive Uber. You don't have to have a car to drive Uber. You can rent a car. But one of the things that I did, I like boring investments and like boring stuff because I'm not that talented. Like I'm not really that good with my hair, makeup, and what other, like nails. Like that's like not my thing. I'm not like a creative type of person, but I like boring things. So one of the things I do is like I buy cemetery plots. And it's like buying land, but the average cemetery plot, if you think about it, we're all going to pass away. It's inevitable. Not everyone is going to be buried or be put in a mausoleum, but the majority is. And if you go to like any major city, they usually have like a popular cemetery. I know back home we have Royal Palm South, and that is like full. So I like try to buy cemetery plots, and then I'll sell them. I'll hang on to it or whatever. So that's something that most people probably wouldn't think of doing. Also, buying like creating ebooks. Everybody keeps saying like digital assets, but it's true. ChatGPT is free. Canva, they have a free version. You can combine those two and make an ebook. So for all of my great cooks, like I was just telling a few family members who are really good cooks in the family, that'll be a good additional stream of income. You can sell food, and you can also sell your recipes by creating an ebook using ChatGPT and using Canva. You don't have to go to school for that.
Right.
So things like that. I just feel like if you do hair, start charging people for hair. A lot of things we do naturally for free to help people, we can charge And people you'd be surprised who would be willing to pay you as well. So I used to help people with their credit all the time for free. So like I always know if I don't even want to say if I get down bad, but I always know I can generate that into some income. You know.
Yes.
So
Always need to diversify.
Yeah.
And I think another thing is you can also take a longer investment in changing your career.
Correct.
Because sometimes you can pick up something like a trade,
I love a good trade.
which
Love that.
is a lot shorter in education time or schooling time. And those are really the only jobs that will not be replaced by AI.
Yeah.
So if you want to be booming in the next,
Learn how
few
to
decades,
be a plumber, AC technician,
electrician,
a
mechanic,
yeah.
like all the things that those AI can't replace that. That manual labor, they're not doing that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people look at a plumber and be like, I don't want to deal with dirty toilets and people poop. And that's not all that a plumber does. Like, sometimes it's a simple inspection and somebody don't know what they doing.
Right.
And you're going to send an invoice and they're going to pay it. Sometimes, you just need to come and check someone's refrigerator. That's almost $200 for a 15-minute work. People pay for your expertise.
Yeah.
Or getting a CDL, driving trucks. And driving trucks don't have to be long distance. You can drive locally. So I think just spending some time, like if you could put your head down for the 6 months, year, 2 years that it takes to get certified and cut back on some of the things and spend more time doing those things, especially as a parent. Do not feel guilty about the 2 years that you're going to spend not being able to see your kids' football games or all of that when you could be setting them up to live a wonderful life.
Correct. I took a trade. By trade, I'm a medical assistant. And then I went and got my degree from college. But while I was in college getting my bachelor's degree, I was already making money, like a decent salary with great benefits because I had worked for the state at the time. And you get what I'm saying? So that trade got me in the door to where I wasn't a dead broke college student.
Yes.
And then when I graduated college, I was able to, do other things. And, it just kind of set me up. So I always try to tell people, like, a trade right now is it's almost better than going to college. I ain't even going to lie.
Yeah. I wouldn't consider it a trade, but what I did during school, so I wasn't a broke college student, is I worked in the restaurant industry. And the biggest lesson I learned was how to move from your typical dining to fine dining. And the biggest barrier is knowledge. So when I got into fine dining, I got paid so much more purely off of understanding our wine list, how I could upsell it, what selling techniques are, why the wine is better, why the brand of whiskey is better, and how long it's aged, and all these things that make something unique, make people want to purchase at the price that it is. I was like, oh, bet. The difference between how much money I make and how much money they make is how much they know versus what I know. Because I had great customer service. I could do all those things. I could remember an order. I could keep the pace of a meal. I could read the room, whatever. But the biggest thing that made a difference in the dollar amount on every check was how well I knew the product and that I could sell.
Living in Miami, I've met waiters who told me they make well into $100,000 a year just from waiting tables, because we have a lot of nice restaurants here. But they started off like that, just working their way up. And now they probably come in and work at maybe 4 or 5 p.m. and then work till like midnight, because a lot of the steakhouses and stuff don't open till late evening. And I remember one guy, he was like, man, last year I cleared like $140,000. My jaw dropped. I was like, we was at Giselle. Remember, we just recently went there. We was at Giselle. He told me he had cleared like 140 with the tips.
Yes. But let me tell you something about planning financially. That is awesome. And you get you get used to quick money.
Yeah.
Because you get paid every 2 weeks. You likely going to have some sort of cash in hand every day. But you're going to get a nice lump sum check. But you have to be mindful of how you plan for taxes in businesses like that.
Exactly.
Because I ain't going to lie, I got caught up. I was like, this is cute. living in Georgia and then not being mindful. Georgia has state tax. And I was like, you want how much money from me? Isn't my employer supposed to do this? And by law, my employer did not have to do that.
Yeah, 'cause this is not Georgia. It's not Florida.
Yeah, but even in Florida, because you're a tipped employee, you're not always looked at as they don't provide medical insurance, no matter if you work full-time hours. So that's another thing. You have to be mindful of what you're trading off.
Yeah.
Like, if you're making all this money, you need to make sure you have your own private health care, that you have all of those things, that you're budgeting or making quarterly payments towards your taxes, which is an option. You go to IRS, they make an estimate of how much you're going to earn. You make estimated payments. If you pay too much, they give you money back. If you ain't pay enough, it's a much smaller bill at the end of the year. So that's the only kind of trade-off I realized from that. One, you get used to blowing money because you're going to make it right back.
Right.
It takes a lot of financial discipline to get into that type of work. I think even like when I look at men who get their CDL, they going to blow it.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to make it right back.
Yeah.
So you really got to discipline yourself to hold on to that money.
Yeah, I agree. I learned the hard way with that too, because I was, when you start making money, we're not really taught as to what to do with the money. And we see our money and our eyes get big. So then we have that lifestyle creep. So now we want a newer car. We want to, we want to go out traveling more and stuff like that. And sometimes we wasn't taught to just live below our means, and what that actually looks like. We heard it, but nobody actually told us no, make sure you invest this much. Make sure you establish your $0 amount first. Make sure that you putting up for your insurance and things like that. It's they don't really tell us that.
A lot of the mentality that I feel like becomes a generational curse amongst poor people, and I don't like to say broke because broke is a mentality. Poor is a socioeconomic class. So most of the mentality among poor people is, what can I do to spend my entire paycheck before the next one? Like, the goal of each paycheck is to spend it before the next one.
Right.
Even when you have extra money, it's like, now you're going to go find
something to do.
Oh, I always wanted these shoes. Let me go get these shoes.
Right.
Even though they maybe $60. But that $60 you could have put into your savings account.
Yeah.
You could have invested more into your Roth IRA. The goal isn't to spend all the money.
Right.
And I'm not saying this to say I wasn't there, or I still don't have moments like that. Like,
that damn sure.
So it's like, I got to remind myself, the goal is not to spend it all. The goal is to spend what is necessary, and then along the way, have discernment on what we're spending extra on.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, that's why I think it's important. You just got to know certain principles, like the $0 amount. You hear people like Dave Ramsey talk about that. I know, I would say Love Dorsey. She talks about that in her book club and on Zooms and things like that. And the average person, they don't know what they dead broke is, right? And everybody dead broke is, well, I don't want to say broke. What you said, poor.
Poor.
Everybody poor dollar amount, or what makes them feel poor is different. So some people get down to their last $25, they feel like, oh my gosh, I'm poor. Some people get down to their last $1,000. I done heard people say they poor amount is $100,000. If I get down to my last $100,000, they feel like they are poor.
Yes.
So I think too, once I learned that, I was like, okay, Necia, my $0 amount is a certain amount. Once I hit that, I feel poor. To the average person, it's probably like, you tripping. But it prevents me from doing that.
Yeah.
Spending the money until just because I got it and I know I'm about to get paid, it's Wednesday and I still got X amount in my account.
Let me blow
I got blow it. No, because I tell myself, this is my $0 amount. I don't care what happened. I'm not touching this money. And it's important to also have something put up into a high yield savings account for your 3 to 6 months. Because look at all the people who got furloughed and laid off in these recent months. So that's why it's so important. It kind of really exposed who really had it and who really didn't.
Yes.
And this is why it's important to keep your expenses low. Because if you do lose your job, but your expenses low, let's say your car is paid off, or you do live in a affordable housing situation, it may not be the most ideal, but I know if I can lose a job for a month and still be okay.
Yes.
I rather have that peace of mind than me have this big old nice house and stuff like that, and then I'm one paycheck short of being put out. So I always try to like those things like living below my means, knowing my $0 amount, making sure I'm assigning the money
Where it
before
needs to go.
where it needs to go. Because one thing about money, it will give you an assignment every time you hit your door. And now you don't even have to hit your door because Amazon. So
It's there.
it's there.
And I think if we realize that there is an emotional aspect to money, because especially with men, a lot of their value and self worth that they feel is tied to money.
Right.
So the more money they make, the better they feel. But they don't realize that you can be rich in finance and poor in or broke in mentality.
Come on now.
And that's why I say I don't consider myself broke. I consider myself poor, even though I'm not that either. But that's because broke is a broken state.
Yeah.
You can be poor and as happy as you want to be, and you can be as wealthy as you want and hate yourself and your life and everything around you.
Right.
So that's why I like to distinguish that. And there is an emotional aspect of money.
Yeah.
We're going to spend emotionally, like we talked about mom guilt during the holidays, or men feel like their value is attached to money. So they feel like they either have to spend it. But the most valuable thing is being responsible with money.
Yeah.
Like that's what we all should seek. And when we can kind of take the emotions out of it, when you can feel above water with money, have a good handle on it, money don't have a handle on you,
Yeah.
you can move forward. And one of the tips I love to do with bill pay is when I get to those moments where it's like, because I realize you can have all the money, but when you feel like you're getting close to your $0 amount, you'll have what I consider poor mentality. You'll start making decisions based on as if you're poor and scarce. So things that you would usually do or ways that you would behave are different. So one thing I like to do to avoid those times or navigate those times with bill pay is when I set my bills up on auto pay, I use a bank account with routing and account number
Right.
versus a card, because the whoever the vendor is that I'm paying is going to auto draft that amount on the day that it's due. But because I'm using a bank account, it typically takes a few extra days for it to come out of my account. So for someone like me who's paid twice a month versus every other week, that helped me in times when I needed 2 or 3 more days before I got paid and this bill was due, and I wasn't sitting here taking a late fee or stressing myself out or finding out if there was someone who could help me.
Right.
So those are ways I feel like when you in the beginning and you catching up and trying to make money stretch, that is a great technique to use.
I like that.
Yeah. And then again, the multiple bank accounts. But that's one thing I really utilize to kind of help me navigate those times where it's like, oh, I just need a couple more days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I highly advise when you save money, put it in I use SoFi, not sponsor, but please feel free to sponsor.
Thank you.
I use SoFi to keep like my savings and my 3 to 6 month expenses, that type of thing, right? My $0 amount. I put that into like a high yield savings account, which yield means what you receive back. So I think the yield on it is 4.7 or 4.5, right? So let's say I have $10,000 in there. I get 4.5% plus my 10. They'll give me that just off having my money in that account. But I like that because I can't just go buy a Chase and go to the ATM and get the money out. I have to like go into my app, then use Plaid. Plaid is a API system where it links other bank accounts so you can transfer and you can use it for bill pay. But now I was doing some research on credit and stuff. They were saying now Plaid is going to be reported to our to our credit. It's going to start reporting. So that like Klarna, the buy here pay here type of
buy now pay later.
Yeah, buy now pay later, like all of that stuff now is going to start reporting to
the credit bureaus.
Yes. Because,
what do you think about that?
You know, I was doing some research because I love just like learning things about credit and finances. I'm like a little geek when it comes to that. So in 2026, it's going to be like full throttle, but they're already starting to use it now. We're moving away from FICO 8, which is like what you guys see if you go apply for like a loan, apply for anything from a lender. And now we're going to start using FICO T10.
Okay.
FICO 10T, I'm sorry. And the T stands for trended. So basically FICO 8, that was more of like a static report, which kind of gave the lenders like a screenshot of your finances, right? It was just like a little overview. But with the trended, which is FICO 10T, they get to see a closer look. They get to see now if you ever, like in the last 2 years, did your bank accounts ever go into negative? How many deposits you have? How much withdrawals you have? How many times you use a buy now, pay later type of servicer? They can look at how you use Plaid. Are you using it for auto bill pay? Are you using it to shift money around? Like they even using it to see like utilities. Like how often do you pay your utilities on time? So my feeling is I have mixed feelings about it. For people like me, it's good because in the last 2 years I've been a good steward of my finances, but I do feel bad for the people who have already been struggling with their finances, trying to stabilize it, because now they're about to be penalized when we go into this new system of how lenders are able to view us as borrowers. So they may not be able to get as much as they could have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just think about it, like all the people who get extensions on their light bill, or they let their water get cut off for 2 days because they don't have it. Those people are going to get now penalized for it. Even stuff using like Experian Boost, like signing up for stuff like that. Now we're giving them more information to judge us on.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, if you're a good steward of money, it's good. And if you have a good, and the credit scores, like that's going to be like, they don't care about the credit scores no more. They really caring about your credit profile, which is something totally different. They want to know how many open accounts. They can now see closed accounts. So I just think it's going to be interesting because I think a lot of people are like cheering, like, oh my God, they're getting rid of the credit bureaus. But they're also now more in our business. So you have to be more on top of your finances. That's why I was just having this conversation with somebody. We can no longer afford to be prioritizing our time on stuff that doesn't serve us. Like we need to be really looking into what's being pushed out, right? They doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and we don't want to start the new year behind the 8 ball because we didn't know. And I just think it's going to be different because imagine like the average person, they already pay more for the item. Cars, homes, credit card amounts. They already paying more because of their credit tier.
Yes.
And people like who really have it, they not paying. They paying 0% interest. Like all my stuff, like 0% interest, either low interest. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like even with the 50-year mortgage thing that they're trying to propose, everybody think it's a good idea, but there's a lot of caveat behind that.
It's the stupidest thing. You know what you know what it also reminds me of? I am 30, about to be 31. If they roll out this 50-year mortgage and I purchase a house today, my house won't be paid off until I'm 80 years old, which means I'll need to work until I'm 80 years old.
Well, you know they pushing retirement back.
Even if they do, they're going to push it 15 years?
They might.
So even then, if I want to, I would have to work until I'm 80 or get a mortgage that fits Social Security, which is not going to be around in 50 years.
Right.
So the option is work until 80, pay it off early, or pass on the debt to my children when I die.
Right. Somebody was telling me, though, that is a good option for people who have children because you can go ahead and secure the 50-year mortgage and then just pass it on to your kids and they reap from that. But I was saying it's still going to have some type of caveat because even now they have what is called, like when you sell like your parents' house, your parents give you a house, you got to pay the taxes. What is probate? It called? Not just probate, but it's like it's on the tip of
Capital
my tongue.
gains tax?
Capital gains tax. So what they purchased the house for $150,000 for in 1990 is not, when they give it to you, you're going to have to pay the taxes on the year they gave it to you at. So that's called capital gains tax. That's what it's like. They're still going to find a way to where it's not going to be easy as to leave a 50-year mortgage to another. You cannot cannot give your debt to somebody else. It's
Thank
not
you.
it's not, you can't do that. So I still don't understand like how that's even
But also, we come from families of multiple children.
right.
That's one house between multiple kids. You know what that's about to be like?
Yeah, child.
Now it's gonna be this one the favorite. How the house in your name? I want to sell it. I don't. It's gonna be a mess. That is not an investment to leave to your children. That's also not something you want to deal with when you lose a parent.
Right.
The last thing you want to deal with
It's
is
shuffling through paperwork. How can I get this card
Who
a
is the
mortgage
lender?
Yeah.
who is the lender?
It's gonna be
Is the house
crazy.
insured? Are the property taxes paid? Like, I don't want to think about that when my parents pass.
Yeah.
Like, I barely even want to go in a house. Like, then what? Then now we're going to let the bank have it, and you done put 30 years, 40 years, 45 years.
That's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, I just feel like things like that being pushed is even more reason for us to wake up, get out of bed, pull the covers back, turn the AC off. It's time to get up and get in the field. And when I say get in the field, I mean like on some real type of stuff, not kicking off our sandals fighting, but actually going to get the knowledge and implementing it, because we do not need to keep giving these people an excuse of, well, yeah, they some of these people did get a leg up on us. But right now, we really have no excuse because we all got the same access pretty much. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, it's time to really start setting your priorities right. Start really learning what you don't know and being honest with what you don't know. Like, I'm very honest. I was telling Hailey earlier, she was saying that she know a young lady who may want to come talk about taxes. I said, oh, that'd be great, because that's not my field.
Right.
I could tell you a lot about credit and investing and real estate and stuff. I don't really know much about taxes. So I'm very honest with myself about that. But I know if I'm generating money and spending it, guess what? It's taxes. I need to know this stuff like the back of my hand. So I just feel like now is definitely the time to like lock in. If you're with somebody, they need to be locking in on this information along with you, because you will find yourself in a situation where you're trying to be a good steward of your money and save and invest and all of that stuff. And then if they're not understanding on the same page, you're going to find yourself in a cycle.
Absolutely.
So that's why I said I do weekly. I mean, I get paid bi-weekly, monthly, and quarterly. Like, we need to have a meeting of the minds.
Yeah.
This is what I'm working on. This is what you working on. And if you're single, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm trying to get to. Like I told one of my nephews the other day, I said, write down 3 goals for 2026 for Q1. So it needs to be done by April 1st of 2026. And not just write the goals down, but actually write down some sub-bullet points on how your goals are going to get achieved. Don't just write them down. Show me the steps.
Right.
Don't show me, show yourself, actually. I don't
And if
need
you
to
got
see 'em,
questions,
but
let me know.
yeah, but like those are things I'm like, no. Like, I already have goals for 2026. Not just financial, but just like emotional, all type of stuff. But really, I'm trying to really get on my game because I don't want to be left behind.
Amen.
I'm trying to tell you. So that's what I'm saying. Start hustle it up. Really start to like ask yourself, what are you good at and how can you monetize it?
Yes. And I think a good place to start is a book that I love with someone that we're familiar with, and his name is Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey is just like the money man, and this is the complete guide to money. And I think this is a good way to like start understanding money and having like clear direction of like what to do. Now, Dave Ramsey is very extreme when it comes to his approach. Eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day, eat beanies and weenies, cut out Starbucks. Like, that's his approach. That's not my approach. I believe in putting a little yes in there, okay? But this is a good way to just have a foundation of understanding money And if there are any of our followers that would like this book, I'd be happy to send it to you. So yeah, I ain't sending it to everybody, one person. I will send this book to you, okay?
Yes. And he has another book, The Total Money Makeover. It's a really good book.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to piggyback off of something Hailey said, because this is a very honest space, right? There's a lot of people in the financial realm that give advice, i.e. Dave Ramsey, right? You have to chew the meat and spit out the bones, meaning do what works for you and tailor it to your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like Dave Ramsey, but I don't follow all the steps, because realistically, I'm not finna eat beanies and weenies, and I'm not like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm very honest with myself. And in order for you to actually achieve goals, you have to like make them attainable, like make them smart, specific, and measurable, and all of that, attainable, time specific, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Dave Ramsey is good, but also the Budgetnista, there's so many other people out here. You have to do your own research, because there's a lot of people too, like pushing, like go get. Some people push you and say you should get all this debt without teaching you how you should pay it back. A lot of people tell you, yeah, it is good debt and it is bad debt, or what you would consider bad debt, right?
Yes.
And yes, we should remove the fear of getting debt to further ourselves, because there is things like getting a mortgage.
Yep.
That's considered actually a thing that could be needed. That's not a bad thing. Versus getting a car note. A car note is a depreciating asset. It does not, unless you're going to use it for work. So some things, if you take out a business loan, a lot of these people, especially like 2 years ago, was heavy on Instagram. Everybody was trying to get everybody to sign up for business funding, but they was not telling these people how to pay it back. So I know a couple people who, personally, who I tried to help navigate through this space. I want to share it with our audience. When you go get any type of lending, right? Especially if it's like a personal loan, I won't say any type of lending. I would say a personal loan, business funding. Let's say you want to create, name me a side hustle business.
Doing hair.
Okay.
Mowing
Doing
lawns.
hair. Mowing lawns. So let's say you need some lawn equipment, and let's say you want to buy hair from a vendor, right? So you could sell. But you don't have the upfront money, the startup money, right? So now you want to go and apply for a loan. Let's say you ask for $10,000. If you ask for $10,000, you only want to spend $5,000 of the 10, and you want to, whatever they send that money to, whatever account they send it to, leave $5,000 in there and don't touch it. That way, by the time you go ahead and buy your equipment with the other $5,000 you take, you're going to go take it and buy your equipment, buy your hair inventory.
You're not going to dinner.
You're not going to dinner with that money. You're not going on a yacht. You're not buying jewelry. You're not going to buy sections. You're not going to go do drugs. You're not going to go trick it off. You're not going to go get a BBL. You're not going to do any of that, okay? You're going to stay at the People Mall. You're going to stay off of Fashion Nova.
You are going to the vendor.
Take the $5,000. Go get what you need. Once you start accumulating money, right? You're still not really making money. Once you start making you're not making money just because of money coming in, right? Because you still got to recoup what you just took a loan out. That other $5,000 sitting in a bank, that's going to start paying the loan off for at least, let's say, 4 or 5 months. Because let's say your payment is $1,000. So for 5 months, you tell yourself, I got 5 months before I got to actually start paying this money back, because the $5,000 are in there, right? Okay. Another thing, you do not have to pay people to get you funding. You can if you want to, if you don't have the time. I respect anybody who delegate, because I delegate a lot of stuff I can easily do myself, just because I don't want to, and I feel like my time is better spent doing something else. If that's your case, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about these people who don't really know, and y'all just letting these people tell y'all, you should go to this person and that person, let me help you, and I'm going to charge you 10% of whatever I get you. So let's say they get you $100,000, right? What's 10% of $100,000?
10,000.
You automatically owe these people $10,000 before you even did anything for your actual business, before you brought any inventory, products, you purchased a building, anything to help you make money, you already in the whole $10,000 just because somebody else went online and helped you apply for these applications. So I'm just put that out there, disclaimer, right? Another thing, budgeting. I don't like to give financial advice because I'm no financial advisor. But everybody budget is different. Some people they're very aggressive, and some people it's very like, oh, as long as you just put 10% away. Like a lot of people tell you to save 15% for retirement. You do not need to save 15% for retirement if you're barely having food on your table and the utilities are like getting cut off. You're not there yet, and that's okay. It's truly okay. But what's not okay is month after month you're supporting recreational activities or things of leisure that you don't have to do, and your utilities are falling behind.
Yeah.
It's like, how many months do you have to going through that before a wake up call say, you know what, I can't afford to do this no more.
And let me tell you something.
I can't.
Anywhere that has to do with sanitation, where you live, so your water being on so that you can wash dishes and wash your behind, having electricity on so that you can cook and have a healthy meal, having a roof over your head, there is nothing in life that comes before that.
Nothing.
No recreational activity, no shopping, no what you need to look like to the public. You need to look like your household is together.
Right.
So you need a roof over your head. Not if you stand with somebody else, don't be spending money on frivolous things. Go get you somewhere to stay.
Yeah. And I have a rule. If I'm not going to do anything that's going to put me in the red the following month, I'm not going to throw a party. I'm not going to take a trip. I'm not going to go to no restaurant if I feel like it's going to put me in the red net the following month. Like, that just tells me I can't afford to do it.
Right.
And sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves and it sting a little bit. But this is where we all hold each other hand and tell each other, like, a part of having good genes is wanting to see the best for for the people around you. Like, I don't want to be the only one can afford to do certain things. I want all of us to be able to do it, but we can't get to that certain space if we don't have these honest conversations. Like, some of us we will be in a better predicament if we just was very honest with ourselves and say, you know what, I'm making poor decisions. That's it.
And I think I don't want to say the hardest. One of the hardest financial conversations is to have when you get married, because every bad habit that you have with money is going to come out and be seen. And that's another aspect of like the teamwork that you have to have in a marriage is we have to figure out where our money is going, what we want to do with our money, or deciding if you want to mingle money. That's one thing Dave Ramsey is big on. We are married and this is our money.
Right.
But again, not everybody feels that way or operates that way, and maybe sometimes it takes some time. I'm not married, but that would be my goal in marriage, is for our money to be intermingled, and then we figure out where our money is going.
Correct.
Because when you think about forever, there's going to be times where maybe one person earns more than the other, where you need to lean, or the higher earner gets laid off and you need to lean on the person who makes less. So in the end, to me, it's just going to balance out. And we both have to live here. We both have to eat here. We both have to have the same quality of life in our home. So for me, it just makes sense to intermingle funds. But you are a married woman.
Yes.
So just curious on your thoughts, like not about your marriage, but in marriage in general. What are some tips and tricks, or how can you best have those conversations about money?
I think first, every marriage is different, and what works for one couple may not work for another. However, there are some standard, I feel like, principles that work across the board. I think you need to sit your partner down, and you need to gather as much information as their understanding of finances. and what their relationship is with money, right? And not just that, boundaries too. Because are they want to give it all away? I had to learn that. I used to like help people and all that stuff, and I had to remember like I'm not only taking from me, I'm taking from my partner.
Yes.
So like, what are their like boundaries? So like, what is just how they set up, and you need to have a respectful conversation about, hey, this is what's going to work for me. This is what I feel most comfortable with. What do you feel most comfortable with? And then you guys need to come to a common ground. Like I try not like how I'm set up. It's not. It's how most wives want to be set up, but I understand that how I'm set up is not for everybody.
Yes.
Some people, they do need to go 50-50 because if your husband or if your husband only makes 45,000 a year and y'all rent is $2,000 a month, that 45,000 is that's gonna go bye very soon. So yeah, you got to get in the field and help them. However, but sometimes the man got to go make it goes back to sometimes you just need more income, right?
Or maybe it's a time like we talked about when getting a trade. Maybe it's hey, so that I can make more money.
Yeah.
I need your help.
Yeah.
In 2 years, my goal is 2 years. I'm gonna finish school. I'll make this much more, and we'll be set that you can go back to part-time or not working or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I do think those type of conversations need to be had.
For sure.
Because you a team, you have to plan together.
You do.
So if you don't say, this is my goal as a human, and in order to get there, I'm going to need your help in our thing. Like, for me, as a person, that's something I would love to do. Like, I always think about Tom Brady. Him and his wife got divorced, they say, because he was supposed to retire and he didn't. And she was tired of that lifestyle. She had raised their kids on her own as she felt. And for me, if that was the case, because I don't know what their business is, if that was the case, I feel that that's selfish. Because when I met you, you were Tom Brady. It's not like I met you when we were kids and I had no idea the potential you had or who you were. It's not even like they met when he was drafted as the 144th pick. They met when he was Tom Brady, a couple Super Bowl rings in. So I knew who you were, and you playing football is something that's for you. It provides our family a great life, but it's your thing. How can I tell you to stop doing what you love to do? To me, that would leave a life of regret for a partner that I would never want to see. And I feel like in return you would regret me. So, but I get every I'm not a married woman. This is just my opinion. I'm not going to tell you to stop, because we individuals. I'm not going to tell you to stop serving what's for you as an individual because of what I want.
Yeah, you definitely, I just said this, you have to do what's best for you, and it has to make sense. I love how I'm set up. And sometimes it's just a thought of, we're going to use what your income is. It's still looked at all as one, but we're using your income to invest, travel, and do our leisure activities. Yep. I'm going to make sure our necessities, the house, the cars are running, the insurance is paid, because that's something I was going to do as a man on my own regardless. What you bring is just added onto the table. And I do believe that, like, I was listening to, I don't know if y'all follow him, Aristotle Investments on Instagram, but he's like heavy into the stock market and day trading and stuff like that. And he was saying how him and his wife do, like, he let her, like, they sit down as a team. But not only do they sit down as a team, it's like they understand, like, I'm not going to do anything that you don't know about. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a mutual respect there. Like,
or they establish a certain dollar amount when the discussion needs to be had.
Yeah,
I'm not going to call you every time I go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
But
sometimes I just think, like, you just have to have a respect level for your partner. And then sometimes you have to say, hey, this is getting too much for me. I need to take a break or whatever. And sometimes you just got to have real honest conversation. Hey, bruh, we can't have no more kids until we get out of this situation. Hey, we need to downsize the house. Hey, we need to give up a car. Like, sometimes those are hard conversations to have, but it's needed.
Yeah.
But I honestly think if you really care about your partner, you're going to do what's best to help them, because you're not going to want to see them work themselves into a grave, an early grave.
Yes.
So I just feel like if everybody pulls their weight, it works.
Yes.
And I understand everybody isn't set up the same way.
Mhm.
So you just honestly have to have a very respectful, honest conversation and go into it trying to be as empathetic as possible. Like you may not see it your partner way, but just go into it as empathetic as possible. Like for
Mhm.
the men, a lot of men think women don't do enough, like they don't work enough. Oh, what's cleaning the house and all of that stuff. And a lot of women like, oh, you don't bring in enough money, but try to go into it as empathetic because
Yeah.
we all
It's a
have a job.
partnership.
It's a partnership. So, but I will say, you have to be on one accord,
Mhm.
or it's not. You're gonna have a lot of problems.
Yeah. And I feel like you said, there's ebbs and flows. Just because of what it looks like right now doesn't
Yeah.
mean what it's going to be forever.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely have the plan to get out of what we do or transition or, whatever we're looking to do.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, I know. I want to say it. I brought
go.
Aristotle too to say because he was talking about the cheat code, and
Mhm.
I agree with him. Having a good partner who you and that partner is on the same page, that's a cheat code to get ahead quicker.
Mhm.
Because two incomes, or let's say both of y'all got two streams of income, that's four incomes.
Mhm.
If
And
one
they
of
see
y'all
that
got
as
one
one
each,
person.
yeah, if one of y'all got one income, that's two incomes now. So I do think this is why I'm saying like we have to be honest in other conversations too. We do need each other.
Mhm.
It's like I ain't gonna lie, my cheat code was getting with my husband. You get what I'm saying?
Thank
Like
you.
that helped me a lot to get ahead and vice versa. So
Mhm.
I do think but it takes a partner for y'all to be on one accord. Y'all have to have the same principles, and finances is one of those principles you have to be on the same accord on.
Yes. I think that's one of the biggest. Don't quote me on the statistics, but from what I remember, that's like one of the biggest reasons why people divorce is finance.
Right.
And a lot of those signs you see early.
Mhm.
So you just got to have them hard conversations.
Mhm.
Come to the Good Genes podcast, safe place for hard conversations.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, but let us know, like, what are y'all, do y'all have a budget? What's y'all $0 amount if y'all care to share? What financial books or podcasts or different
Mhm.
people you follow on Instagram that share the wealth of knowledge here?
Yes,
Who
share
y'all,
what works in your
yeah.
relationship and your marriage or how you're planning as fiancés to
Mhm.
prepare your finances, how you do it as a single person, how you do it as a parent.
Mhm.
Because there's, just as we're speaking and this could help someone, your comment could help someone too. Because Necia and I aren't parents, so it's going to look different for us and how we can budget money and what we have the free will to do with our money. So if there's something that has worked for you, drop it down. If there's a trade that you'll be like, I would have never thought to buy graveyard plots. Like if you got one of those, drop them down because
Yeah,
we looking to diversify
look, we
our
trying to see
investments.
something. We trying to see something. No, like seriously, honestly, we really want to know because this community, I just see it like it's like a community. Like we really sharing,
Yes.
we sharing tips and tricks, and then also put down some topics. Or we know that we don't talk about finances enough, but what specifically that you guys feel like you want us to talk
Deep
about?
dive into.
Maybe it's credit, maybe it's me actually showing you the budget like on a pie chart or something like that. What is something, or talk about business funding more and how to pay
Yes.
it back, and you know what I'm
Business
saying?
management.
Business
Preparing for
management.
taxes.
How to apply for a loan, how to go apply for credit. What are some topics?
Relationships with banks, because
Yes.
as much as you don't want to do it, as toxic as your relationships are in real life, is how they're going to show up in your relationship with the bank.
Yes.
So banking is absolutely a relationship.
Yes, I started writing a book a long time ago. I might put it out, I don't know. But it talks about how, like, you can be more attractive to a lender. And I put it in the analogy of like a relationship. But maybe I'll talk about it on a different episode so this one doesn't get too lengthy. But whatever y'all want us to talk about, like those conversations where we said we didn't get taught this enough. We want to start having those conversations. So let us know in the comment section what we wasn't taught enough of, and we'll go get the information if we already don't have it and share it with you guys for sure. But again, we'll put the books down below.
Yes.
Because sharing is caring when it comes to that.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep. And we'll see you next time, because One thing about Necia and I, we love money, we love to spend it, but we love to make it.
Yeah.
So let us know what y'all want to know more about
And
when it comes to that money.
Don't go broke this holiday season, for real. If y'all start January 1 behind the 8 ball, I promise. And some of y'all I know personally, if I see, I'm telling you now, don't do it. Don't buy the gift. The gift is you starting the new year off in a sound mind and at peace. Don't go into it stressed out. Please don't do it.
And this is my advice. Do not spend for the holidays because you plan to receive a tax return. Your tax return can change your life if you let it. It should not be, let me blow it on a car, let me pay back bills that I owe. If you stay ahead and then you get an income tax return, baby, invest the tax return, okay? Hashtag invest your tax return.
I'll show y'all how to. We're gonna do an episode and we're gonna do an episode soon. I'm gonna show you how to, when you come into some money, how to flip it, because I'm the queen of that.
Come
I'm
on,
the queen of
flipping money with Necia.
Flipping money. Listen, and I got proof of concept. I will show you how to flip some money. I don't care if it's as little as $500.
And not like these niggas be trying to tell you that they gonna take your income tax and flip it and give you back more.
No. But bring the nigga in too, because he probably need to learn how to flip some money too, because half of them don't know how to do that either. But that's another episode for another day. So anyway, see y'all.